Citizen remarks? Mark?
Can I request not to be on that? You know me, I'd rather not be on this.
Oh, you mean you can stand back there?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to.
You can't be seen from where you're standing.
No, but I want to go up there so they can hear me.
All right, I'll move to the side a little bit. I'll make sure you're not.
Oh yeah, just real simple.
You're off.
You know where I live, you know who I am. The traffic on the alleyway is unrelentless. I don't know what they're doing, I don't care what they're doing, but it's unbelievable. I mean, you can tell when something big's in this town because that alleyway has traffic, all different license plates, everything. They'll go down, turn around, get whatever, and leave.
What alleyway are you talking about? Are you talking about the room
Behind
there
our
on
house.
behind
Yeah, behind
It's
our
going in
house.
the back of the Coral Belts, or
Okay.
I think, Carl.
It's unbelievable.
Going into the back of the blue building there.
and you're talking about driving traffic, you're not talking about walking traffic.
They're both.
Both,
Is that right?
yes, it's
We share
unbelievable. Personally, I don't know what they're doing, I don't care what they're doing, however, it's unbelievable. We have kids that live next door that play in that alleyway. When my nieces come to try to get out of the vehicle, the traffic's relentless. It's unbelievable, and it's fast, they're not slowing down. They're doing what they're doing and getting out. That's one of the issues. The second issue is the foot traffic. Now, Rhonda knows that I go behind her garage, my garage, and Judy's garage, and I pick up the trash on a daily basis. Pick it up, take it up the end of the ridge, put it in the trash can. I found hypodermic needles. Now, somebody's gonna get hurt. Now, I know how to dispose of them.
Right.
The whole issue is there's something wrong.
Yeah.
You just, this morning, 2:30 in the morning, kids going up and down the street screaming and hollering. Is there a curfew in this town?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, it is, 10:30.
I don't know what to do. I personally, it's getting old.
Yeah.
We set out the other night, I had a fire pit going. The traffic, both kids and adults. I went to work yesterday at 5:30, 3 guys are coming up the alleyway. Do I know them? Nope. Haven't seen them. Something's going wrong. Big time. My second thing about the traffic is the food pantry down here. I know that Carl unlocks the what's called and they go down the alleyway, you know, they pull in the church and they go down the alleyway. They're not going slow. This morning, I was trying to weed eat. I almost got run over twice because you can't hear me. I quit weeding because I'm not getting run over. I don't know how to address that, unless you go to the church and tell them. You need to tell people to slow down. My other concern is, has anybody contacted the Army Corps of Engineers about the wall? The wall's falling. Come beyond my house, there's a big gap. If we get a big flood, we're in trouble. I've seen the water come over that before, but that wall is unbelievable. I mean, like I say, right behind my house, there's a big divot with a pipe going through it. And the kids play back there. Somebody's going to get hurt. We get a big water, that wall's not going to hold it. I had contacted him at one time, and I was told that it needs to come from an official from the town of Piedmont to address that. What you do, I don't know. But like I was told, you need to contact your officials. So I'm coming to you. Maybe you guys can go to whoever, whatever they are, for West Virginia in this end. I know Gary Howe, he ain't gonna do anything. He's already told me, I'm not doing anything for people. That's
Okay, I got the
ridiculous.
contact with Corps of Engineer Justin, that's why I got Justin.
I sent him an email,
Yeah.
and they got right back to me
Yeah.
and stated to me that it needs to come from town officials with that wall.
But they're saying that wall is there, is what
Yes.
what they're saying.
Is there a name to that?
But I can comment on that a little bit. Now, some of that wall now, the reason why they're wide and repaired is because when remember after some things fast, some parts of that wall runs on people's properties. That's why it was not maintained right. Especially on the back street right there, the wall that's close to my house, and where we painted it, where the sewer used to run line under, it was on people's property part of that. That's why some of the walls are not repaired. One time, individual said, "Why can't there our wall be replaced like one over Westport?" But look, man, he said, "Because that's on, some of it runs on people's property lines, all the way down. And that wall is structured, I guess they're constructed, just put a wall up, that they fought type of thing." I said, "Okay, so that means, what about, like I said, out there from nothing?" They said, "That's what I'm talking about. That's part of the street that came down." Because I guess some houses that were constructed back there, where they were constructed for, and Armory, which was up, if you remember, Armory ran partially over the river. The back part of it was getting down. But anyway,
Okay,
maybe that's what the whole problem is.
okay.
I don't have an issue if they come on my property.
To fix that wall.
Well, actually,
Right, that's what I said, it should be the whole wall.
that whole wall is probably actually on people's private property, because I know my deed specifically says that I own to the river.
Yes.
Not to the high water mark, to the river. So that whole area before the river wall was there was lawns.
Right.
So when they put that thing through, they probably got an easement or eminent domain or whatever they call it, but we still actually own on both sides of that wall to the river.
Yeah.
So my guess is the whole wall is on private property.
If they want to contact me, I don't have an issue if they come and want to repair it.
All they did
I don't have
was
money
just
to
like a
repair it.
state
Right.
has claimed right away.
Yeah, so they did where they wanted back then.
But like I said,
They
you
claimed
go,
the right away of that property and they put the
That
wall,
wall back
that was
there.
part of the, program back in the 30s to put people back to work during the depression. That wall was, it was a depression wall, is what they call it. It was put in during the depression to put people to work. And when they did that, at that time, they says, "This is our right of way," and never went to wall. So I can't see them holding you responsible or anybody else responsible to fix that wall,
Right.
because that's their wall and that's their right of way. That's just like with the state, they claim so much out. That's why I'm having a problem with my wall, because they own part of my wall. But I own it, they own it, they have the right of it.
But anyway, we just need to make contact and see
Yeah.
where we, so and Mark's absolutely right, I mean, it is in horrible shape.
if you look between our properties,
Well, it's been there
There's a
since
ditch.
1930.
Yeah,
Right.
I thought I did the pipe you're talking about.
yes, it's unbelievable,
Yeah.
and it falls every day.
And it's just not there, Mark. That whole entire wall
The whole wall.
is bad,
Right,
from there all the way down to the sewer.
right, and I know
And
down
behind the
below
basketball
garage
court.
that burnt down,
Everywhere.
that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's bad, and it's in need repair
Like I said,
all up and down too.
Yeah.
when I contacted them, they said it needs to come from an official.
Okay.
I don't know if it's you guys, or if you guys need to contact whoever, our people are in West Virginia that go to Charleston,
Yeah.
to contact them to see if they can do something. But like I said, we get a big water, that wall ain't holding anybody. So, and my last thing I wanna say is, somebody needs to contact Nut about his garage. Kids are going down that alleyway busting those windows out. And it's up to us, as homeowners, to go and clean that glass up so we don't run over it. I mean, 2:30 in the morning, I can hear windows breaking and I go out and they're running.
Again, it's a problem in that alleyway.
Yes, that alleyway is a huge issue.
Yeah.
And that car lot is not even open and hasn't been open for some
He
time.
moved
He needs
the
to
cars.
do something.
Cars are gone.
Did he move the cars?
Yeah,
I said something about the cars about a month ago.
yeah. But I told Rhonda I was gonna go put wood up on the windows, but I don't have that right.
Right, no,
And I'm not
And you
wasting
shouldn't
my
have
money to put it up.
right,
It has to come from the inside and outside.
right.
Because if you look at those windows, if a kid tries to crawl through those, they're gonna cut themselves and hurt themselves. They're gonna lay in there and no one's gonna know.
Right.
But like I said, yesterday, Bridget come home from work. There was a guy that was staggering up the road, up the street. And before he got from the end of Ashfield to the bridge, he fell 3 times.
Wow.
He was either that drunk or that high. And he's known in his town. As a matter of fact, he's sitting down here in front of
Oh, black beard?
Alabama, yes.
Yeah, I just seen it.
He was so messed up that he fell and hit his head 3 times, and he stared at Bridget as she come down the alleyway. We should have to go in our house and lock our door.
Yeah.
We should have that right to sit outside without someone coming down and God knows whatever.
Like I said, after our last meeting, I emailed, Sheriff's Department, Jeremy, and told him we needed a presence up here on a
Right.
regular basis.
Right.
Not the same time, just on a regular basis, because we're part of Mineral County, and he said he would get on that.
But like the day that the kids busted in at Carl's, took the gas out and lit it on fire, and it took fire extinguisher. I had to pay to get Bridget's car detailed because they put on her car. Yeah, they caught him. But it was 45 minutes after the fact when Mineral County Sheriff showed up. That's ridiculous. When you call and say, well, they're in Fort Ashley, they'll be 45 minutes. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, because they got more and more.
So, but those are my big issues, is that alleyway is the issue.
Yeah.
The traffic is unbelievable. Like I said this
And
morning.
you suspect, that's
Yeah, I
the
did.
no good.
But I can't say it. I can't say it for sure because I don't know where they're going down, where they're going.
I know there's a gentleman back there that has 4 or 5 kids that lives there in, Tony Park's old place. He bought that, Miller Boy, and he has, 2 or 3 kids that I know of. They might be part of that coming down through there also.
Well, the one boy that lives down there, I went down and addressed it because Carl told me to. I said, I suggest you slow down or you won't be driving out.
Well, that gate's across there down there, isn't it? Don't he still have that cable across there? Which
He opens it on Wednesday for the food pantry.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why he has that there, because that used to be a way through there.
I was
That's
told,
that's our road.
this is what's sad is the last mayor, can't think what his name was. I asked him why they didn't plow our alleyway. I was told that it's not a city street. If I pay taxes, it is.
That's something we're going to check on. But I always, as long as I've always known it was, because it always went straight through all the way down,
Yeah.
until whoever put that cable across there.
Because you guys know I'm in the fire department.
Huh?
If we get deep snow and I'm in the fire department, I ain't getting out of the alley. Because when they go down the street, they block the alley. I'm too old to run.
I know he has, 3 or 4 kids that lives in, used to be,
But like I said,
Taylor's house.
there's an issue.
Yeah,
It
there
needs
is.
addressed fast. Because when I find hypodermic needles outside, behind my garage, and like I said, there's 2 kids that live next door that play out there all the time. One of those get a hold of that thing, God ain't knows what's gonna happen. That's basically my gist.
And I've had 2 issues, Mark knows about them, you know about one of them. Walking my dog at night, all I want to do is walk him to the end of the bridge so he can bite it.
Yep.
And I've been verbally accosted 2 times. The last guy threatened to shoot me and my dog.
Who's this?
Now, I don't know, because he comes down the alleyway and he got on the bridge, went over to Westernport, so it's just a perfect horseshoe from Maryland Avenue, across the bridge, back the alley, across the bridge, Maryland Avenue. I carry it at night, so it would have been okay. I had an equalizer, but again, when I'm walking my animal, not even 20 yards from my house, and I've got to put up with this riffraff that comes down the alleyway, and they want to act like that.
What bothers
Something
me
wrong.
is if they get the wrong house and they hit mine first. They ain't walking out.
Yep.
I got news for you. They're not walking out.
No, not
That's
yet.
right.
Just letting you know.
That's your right.
They are not walking out.
Once they pass your gate, that's your right. You can drop them right in the yard.
But we shouldn't have
I
to.
mean, I've had something in my yard.
So we can cash them this to stay with
Really?
you.
Take stuff out of my yard, chairs out of my yard. That's ridiculous. We don't bother anybody back there. Matter of fact, this is the first time I've ever touched you folks.
Yep. But we need to hear from citizens.
It's getting old.
Yeah.
And to have these juveniles tell you to go do sexual things to yourself and you tell them to stop the cussing and busting windows. I was born it. I was raised it.
We all were.
Yeah, we all work
That's what I said. If I did that and my parents found out, they would tell people to beat my ass and then I'd get beat when I got home.
Right.
So, I don't mean the pressure, but there's something wrong.
Yeah, it's called the people has taken our rights away from correcting our children. Okay, because if you do.
You know, I have addressed
You go to
with
jail.
juveniles to get incorrigible teens. It takes forever to get that in a court. Maybe we should start finding out who these kids are and going to their parents and saying the next time, you're gonna be fined because it's past curfew.
Well, if the parents cared, the kids wouldn't be doing what they're doing.
Well, the sad part about it is, and I understand that there's a lot of parents that have to work. And they work hard, that's the only chance they can get. They're thinking their teenage kids are home. They're not. 4 girls stopped me in the alleyway and asked me where they could camp out. I don't know, they don't know me. I mean, they could have asked the wrong person and gone camp out, and I could have come and did whatever he wanted to.
Mark, what do these girls look like?
Little blondes.
Okay, that's enough.
Well, think about what happened.
I know who the four
But I know where
are.
they want to stay,
Yeah, I know who they are.
under the bridge.
What happens though, these kids are so strict, they know what, when, where,
Yeah.
everything's happening, so they know the direction out. The easiest way to get it out is go down, like I said, the alleyway, down the park, or jump through a wall. And then, you know, by the time you,
Yeah.
that's what I was told, you put up a skeleton camp where you want to, get back there, they're on flood, and say, it's the easiest way to go. Once find out there, and once if you start patrolling that area, then they're gonna find those other dam. And come up and go around, stuff any way you know. Because you see it all times and all hours, these kids are slick, they work. And you know, when you don't have enough protection, you have to go on to the brunette. No, it's like, you know.
Okay.
They stayed underneath the bridge at night.
Thank you.
Because I tell you how I know, I got called out to work,
Thank you.
and I could hear them yelling. What do you do?
Well, I know what's gonna happen to you when I get home.
What do you do?
Okay.
I mean, I'm John Q. Public. I've had my house painted with crap that I've ended up paying money to have it redone. I don't know what to do. You get tired. We're all getting too old to put up with it. So, thank you.
All right.
That's wonderful, Mark. Thank you very much. Yep. I know who you are.
See ya.
Everybody read the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes,
I make a motion to accept the minutes of
I'll
the
second the motion.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Correspondence. And a letter from the Region 8 that their next meeting is tomorrow, Thursday, September 17th at 12:30. It is a conference call. If anybody's interested in attending the Region 8 meeting tomorrow at 12:30. It said they will email us, council members, the information to get onto the conference call. Somebody called Carrie about wanting to put a fence up. Is there a fencing ordinance? People can put a fence up if they want a fence.
I don't think so.
I didn't see any.
You know,
If somebody has
Chain link
anyone wants to
fence.
put their fence up, why not?
yeah.
Okay.
Put a fence up, yeah, they should be able to. I don't see why there would be an ordinance for that. It's protecting their property.
I mean, they was asking how high you can make it and how close to the property line, but
Well, you'd want to at least give them a couple of inches
Yeah.
on the property, or just, because like I said, they might want to have a survey first, because that's what I'm in the process now, and the fellows told me that all of the markings in the town are not right. So what I had in '97 might not be the same today. That's what the guy was explaining to me, because that's what happened with Charlie Stewart. We found out that Charlie Stewart owned this particular garage. And half of Mr. Hood's house belonged to Bob Pike. That's what they've been doing now, is redoing all that. He might want to have a survey, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, I really do, because some people might get a little touchy if you put your property, put your fence up on their property,
Correct.
or even if you put it too close to some.
Okay. Anybody else have any correspondence? Huh? On that trunk or treat.
Oh, it's on
Okay, officers report. Paul?
Just get me, go to Ron, I'll come back to me.
I'm your pinch hitter, Ron.
Yeah, you are.
That's okay, that's okay.
Let her up.
Well, Eric fixed the swing, so we got that taken care of. And the signage is up at the park about cleaning up after animals and having them on lead, so that's good. Now, if people just listen to two simple requests, we'll be okay with that. We still need 2 more loads of mulch. And then that should take care of us for a while. Now, somebody apparently has dumped their groceries back there. There's 3 or 4 chicken thighs laying back there uncooked. Of course, Isaac, the nose, found them, so I just saw them last night and they're still there today.
Well, the guys told me that they spotted some woman taking like personal loads of trash from her house and taking them over there and dumping it in those trash cans. So it's probably the same person. I imagine it's the same person.
Probably.
I don't remember who it was, but
Do you know?
I'll have to talk to the guys 'cause they were there. I didn't see it, but I'll get back with you.
Okay. And I see we have 1 no U-turn sign up
Yeah.
on the drive-through. So how many more do we have to put up?
Where else would you want one?
Well, we need a couple on Ashfield Street because that's the biggest offenders are the people leaving Duckies.
Okay.
Yep, right there, tank speaker, right there.
Right in the middle of Ashfield Street,
Phil
actually.
said, right there.
Don't just pull out of their parking place
They
and go,
swing it
that's
there,
how
there,
I park.
completely right.
So we need them close to Duckies.
Alright.
Probably one of the corners.
And other than that, I don't, things are back to quiet, which is good. No creepy vehicles in the park, nobody on the handicap swing. It's okay.
Rick?
I don't have, I'd like to thank a young man, Jesse Ridings. He called me yesterday and asked, or the other day, asked if he could have some paint. And Terry had somebody drop him off and got a paint up there, and he painted the 2 corners up there in front of his house there. So I'd like to thank him for that. I mean, I'd like to see more people come out and help out a little bit like that. I mean, it would make this town go a little easier, because we don't have a lot of people to work with, you know, and these fellows are working themselves to death. And they did a good job yesterday on fixing the sewer run up behind the house. That, I believe Burgermeister crushed that, where he backs up in there. But that's all I have, other than what Eric pointed out.
Yep, like I said, basically yesterday we fixed the sewer up there, right above his house or below, depending on where you're at. I got switched over mine. Went from chlorine gas to the hypochlorite, sodium hypochlorite up for water plant, and doing that, put in one of them old little microprocessor pumps, which I talked to Greg about it. I gotta figure something out up there because the pump that I have up there right now, it's bigger than what I need. I need to get a smaller one. So we need to figure something out with that. But then we put the signs up. We flushed some hydrants out. Monday we went around and flushed a couple of them. Down at the park we flushed one out. I don't know if you noticed all that water down there. It kind of turned it into a swamp for a little bit. But we're trying to do that before it gets too cold. Finish those up. We only got a couple left. And also what I wanted to tell you is I found some of the cameras that we were talking about. And I have, I want to say there's three of them in one of our storage buildings. So we can get those up.
Okay.
If you guys want to get together, I mean, talk about where you want them up at,
Yeah,
and then we'll put them up. And then, today, they fixed the road up at the plant, cause it was freaking a nightmare. It was all carved and washed out, and I did something in my car. And then, what is it, other than that, here in the next couple of days, Paul already knows we'll be starting to winterize the pool. We went and got some, stuff basically to winterize the pool, protect the lines and stuff, so.
Okay.
But that's all I got for now.
Well, there's 6 of them over there, I'll get 4 more.
Okay, yep, that'll be perfect. Oh, and then, actually, I'm sorry. Greg, you and I, what we talked about yesterday, I've got a small list. I just gotta work out the, I guess you'd say the details. Do you need, for every item on that, do I need to get quotes? Okay, alright, gotcha.
3 of them, yeah.
Alright,
Right, but that's for what?
What's that?
What's that quotes for?
I'll cover it.
Okay, gotcha. There's cameras.
yeah.
Could like one of them be put like on the back of your garage or something so we could see the alley?
sure. Free to put it up anywhere you want to.
You'd have to ask someone legally where you can put them, where you can't put them. We got them on our house.
I don't see why we couldn't put it there on the telephone pole at the end of the bridge to show the whole alley, people coming in or out.
Oh, that's a good.
Just
idea.
set it right at
That's a
our
good
house.
idea.
That, putting a camera on a private person's house, even if she's,
Yeah, that's
Twice
why,
a
I didn't
day.
know, that's why I did
there might be something there, but
Right,
we might be able to put it at the end of the bridge or our flagpole or on the telephone
it would have to be
pole.
a flagpole, you can't put anything on
Yeah,
it
I'm
up
saying, I just use that
there. Yeah,
out there someplace that, where you could put it right down that alley.
yeah.
What we need to do is find out what house they're going to. Okay, that's what we need to do. If we can find out what house they're going to, then we can post that wherever that house is at. But as soon as we leave here, it's going to be posted out, so wherever you put the camera, it's not really no good.
Okay.
I think Mark and I talked about getting a setup, that's why I was looking at yours over in the city building, so that we can monitor, because, Bridget, of course, this time of year, it's light, but when she gets home in the evening, it's dark. And Mark always waits on her to get home when he's there. I mean, the good thing is, when he's at work, I'm home, and when I'm at work, he's home. So there's always somebody around, but she feels a little sketchy walking in, just because of this alleyway traffic. And when I do my canning, I go out there in that kitchen in the apartment out there, and I watch them just up and down and up and down and up and down, all different colors. So anywhere that we could get something up to watch them, and Mark and I,
Does this camera have any possibility of infrared on it, or?
I'd have to look at it. I don't know, I'm gonna say, I don't know, I have to look at it.
Well, look into it, and if I have to, I'll help you.
Yeah.
Okay, because the infrared's going to show their faces. It's going to be like you know that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm looking at, military, that's what I'm looking for, okay? That's going to show right down to their teeth smell.
alright.
But like I said, if I have to, I'll pay for it myself, okay? We just need to look into it and find out.
How,
But it's definitely going to have infrared.
All right, we'll start out here again by passing out our accounts payable. This is our bills, and these are the balances of what's remaining on these bills. Not my bills, but the city's bills. And while you're looking at that, pass it back around this way. When you're done, we'll hit Greg and Rick. I'm going to give a balance on some of these accounts. The balance on all these accounts are available. If anybody wants to come and take a look at exactly what the balance is on what the city has. There's nothing secret, nothing that's there. Right now on the general account, this one here, Gary, front page. that, we'll start with the water account. We have $155.57 right now in the water account.
What was that?
Keep in mind,
What was that?
$155.57. Remember, this fluctuates. We're paying bills. We're getting bills in, we're paying bills. So these balances go up and down. This is just what it is as we sit here. On the sewer account, we have $1,748.42. Did you catch that, Rick? You need it again.
No, I think
And on our general account, we have $18,879.03. And I will read this. This is our depreciation account. You know, we inherited a lot of problems in the city, as you know. Carrie, Phil, all of us, we inherited a lot. We had a financial system here, which I've said many, many times, that was antiquated. We've since set out to correct that, and we're well on the way of correcting that. Do we run into problems periodically? Of course we do. And Carrie does her best and has been doing her best in trying to fix those problems and eliminate those problems as we run into them. Everybody has that, every organization has that, every city has that, and we're no different in this town. We have problems, and we'll address it, and that's what we're trying to do. Not trying to hide anything, because I want this city, I want every nickel, every penny accounted for in this city, everything. And we've set about to try to do just that, and I think we're well on the way of that. But again, will we run into problems? Have we run into problems? Of course. And we address it. So, but I want to read this depreciation for all those that are concerned about that. The depreciation account that we had to carry started, we have $2,095.57 in our depreciation account right now. So if there's any questions and anybody wants to see any of these papers, more papers, come on over to City Building, we'll sit down. Carrie would be glad to sit down with you, and we'll let you look at the finances. It's not our finances, the city's finances. We're trying to pay the bills that the city has. We didn't make the bills. We inherited the bills, and we're trying to pay them. We're trying to do the best we can with what we were handed, what we're given. So, the next thing that I wanted to bring up was some time ago, I brought up about an ordinance, and I passed out a copy to everybody in here. Hopefully you had a chance to look at it. But what I would want to do, without taking a whole lot of time, you know, I talked with the West Virginia Municipal League about this before I ever even thought about it, coming here, bringing it up, find out legally what has to be done. What are other communities doing to address some of these problems? And the problem I'm talking about is unsightly properties. Well, I'm not the building inspector, I'm not the building commissioner, so I'm not talking about that. I'm not going to step on an area that's not mine. But unsightly properties is all of our area. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the weeds growing up in people's yards. Unkept yards that are not being cut. The weeds are a foot, 2 foot high that we're just neglecting. You ride around town, you see it. You see some of these houses, you can't even see the houses for the trees anymore because they've been growing that long. But I'm only addressing the weeds, the grass, and stuff like that. But what I want to do, we have an ordinance right now, ordinance number 63. I passed that out some time ago, and it's our unsightly properties ordinance. And it's been amended, but still it doesn't have enough teeth to cover what I think we need in this town to try to help clean the town up. There's no sense in me cleaning my yard if you're my neighbor and you're not cleaning your yard. I might as well let my yard grow too. And then we match. So this is what I'm trying to address. We need more teeth put in this ordinance. So I would like to take this ordinance 63, look at it again. It's unsightly properties, and let me read just a small portion of it. This is why I don't want to go first, Paul. An ordinance pertaining, this is what this ordinance is, pertaining to the accumulation of such items as old lumber, trucks, tires, old tin cans that would create an unsightly condition to exist on any lot or lots within the city limits of the city of Piedmont, and to provide a penalty for such violations. That's ordinance 63. That's what it says. That's what it does. It doesn't go far enough. I want to amend that and include, this is what other communities are doing, Beckley and Kaiser. I've looked at many other towns, Moorfield and other places. But I think these say what I feel like needs to be said, needs to be done here. You guys can agree or disagree, you can look at it. But let me read what this ordinance, I would like to have this included in this unsightly property ordinance. To include the offensive, unhealthy growth of vegetation on properties. I know that's a lot of mumbo jumbo, but that just means high grass and weeds on your property, and trees growing out over the sidewalk, obstructing people from walking up and down the sidewalk and hanging out over the roads. And we need to address that. And it says no owner or lot or the agent of any owner of any lot or parcel of land in the city of Piedmont, that's what I like for us to look at, shall suffer to permit on any property any noxious, deleterious, unhealthy growth of vegetation, weeds, grasses, vegetation, or brush to the height of more than, this says 10 inches. We can play with that, decide, one ordinance says 18, one says 10, so whatever, but we still need something with some teeth.
We go 12.
You can go 12. Nor shall any such person suffer or permit the growth of any weeds or grasses, vegetation, or brush on any part of any sidewalk abutting next door to any such premises. In this town, we're supposed to maintain the sidewalks as well as our property, right?
Yep.
Supposed to maintain them. So I would like to add that.
That is part of the homeowner's responsibility.
Exactly. And let me read this portion here too.
We go to the curb.
Right. To cut away, it should be the duty of every owner, controller, manager of lots, buildings, abutting on street areas, including sidewalks of the city, to cut away and remove all trees, parts of trees and limbs which are dead or which are because of decay or causes threaten the safety of persons using the streets and sidewalks. You should not be able to have to duck your head as you walk down the sidewalk. We should be maintaining those things. So, I mean, there's more. I don't want to take a lot of time, but you see where I'm wanting to go, where I think we need to go. And we need to go even a step further than that. Okay, we need to put teeth in this ordinance and lay the penalties down. Right now, the penalty is $50 for unsightly property. That is almost laughable. I mean,
Well, Paul, the only thing with this is we may end up having to get a code enforcement.
well, I understand that.
Now,
I understand
I don't know if our police officer would be able to do that or not. I don't see why he couldn't. And that might be another thing we might want to look into, is getting another police officer here in town more at a later night to watch that out. And just a couple certain area places that we know what's going on.
Yeah, I understand what
We
you're
can get
saying.
something built up and maybe turn it over to the feds and say, this is what's going on in our town.
Mhm.
And we need help, we don't have enough.
Well, let me finish this.
Okay.
Right now, I feel like, and this ordinance The building inspector, I don't think, we don't have a building inspector. Or the chief of police should be authorized to police this and hand out citations. You know what I'm talking about? So we have to make an ordinance, but we have to put a penalty for not complying with the ordinance. And then, even taking a step beyond that, we can send our city forces out to address these issues, or hire somebody to address some of these issues. If somebody doesn't comply, and turn the bill over to them, or put a lien on the property. And, you know, this is all what other people are doing. I don't see why we can't do that. But this is the gist of what I would like to have amended on this ordinance 63, unsightly properties. Like I say, there's not enough teeth here. It doesn't go far enough. We need to make it into what we need, so it go a long way to help us clean this town up. And I think we desperately need that. So I'll type this up and I'll make it look a little bit more presentable than 3 or 4 pages. And next meeting, I'll present that. I don't know the steps, procedures.
Do we need a motion for this, for him to do that, or?
Well, he has to have an ordinance first.
Yeah, let me type it up and get it presentable.
Okay.
And then I'll present it here to you guys, and then, I don't know the steps, procedure. You know,
Yes,
to,
readings and a public hearing and all.
is that what it is? Okay.
Okay, that's,
Well, but let me make it presentable, more presentable, and I'll have exactly down there. Anybody has some input you want to add to this, get with me beforehand, before I get to typing it up. And I'll bring it in here, and then we'll go from there, because I don't know the steps.
You can take a motion to let him go forward with the property maintenance ordinance.
I mean, first of all, I want to know if everybody agrees with me.
I'll make a motion.
We're all citizens of this community. I don't want to lay something down on just because I'm not.
I'll make a
You know?
motion that we give Paul the right to make an amendment to ordinance 63.
Second that. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Greg.
All right, first of all, Eric, me and you are gonna get together to see where we end up with the fire hydrants we need to get repaired.
Okay.
I know there's 2 of them with bags on Fisher Street, I think. I don't like to see 2 of them close together. I know you gotta take them down and get repairs, but we need to get that list and see what we do to get that taken care of.
Are they the raw water lines?
Yeah.
Okay.
Source water protection grant, I'm going to be contacting Monica to discuss with her, get a little help filling that grant out. No experience with that, I want to make sure what we can use the grant money for. The sewer grant, there is funds left available in the sewer grant. It's what Eric had talked about. As long as it pertains to the sewer and it's not mobile equipment, we have the opportunity to try to get some stuff that the guys need, along with the high pressure hose, a new nozzle. We're going to look at the locators and the ear muffs and stuff like that can help these guys out. Once we do this, any leftover money goes back to the IJDC. So we want to do a good job of putting that list together.
There you go, the last thing.
Yep. I went to talk to Garrett County some more about our land up at the Piedmont Dam. The only thing they can come up with, in 1903, we received permission, the city did, to build the dam on the river. There was absolutely no land that changed hands. In 1989, Western Pocahontas sold that to the state of Maryland. I'm trying to close that gap, because in 1903 it was owned by George's Creek Rail. So where we went from George's Creek Rail to Western Pocahontas, I'm going to try to find out. But as it stands right now, we built the dam and own no land up there. And my concern is liability on the town if something happens up at our intake is deteriorating and stuff like that. So I'm gonna continue to look into that. As far as any updates on the mill, I'd mentioned last night there's a potential buyer at the mill. They are currently under a non-disclosure agreement. So they have 45 days to talk about offer that's on the table and make a decision. Once they do that, I've already requested a meeting with whoever the new purchaser is. Because we have been told they do want to run the water plant in some fashion. So I think it's something we need to at least look at. Last, raw water, we had told you that connection's done and been tested. We received our final bill. The estimate for this work was $66,120. The actual work come in at about 33, or it come in 24,000 under budget. So we can't ask for any more than that, but what I will need, a motion on the floor for Region 8 to release the funds from the grant to pay that final bill. I don't know whether I need to be the one to make that motion or whether it needs to come from somebody else.
I'll make the motion to pay the grant out.
Okay?
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
And the Westernport project is dragging along.
Sounds like it might be a
They can drag through.
good point here. Hopefully it will
They
be.
can keep on dragging.
I hope that's money well spent and not used for that raw water too. That's all I have.
Okay. All attention to property maintenance. The trunk or treat.
Did I go out of line with it?
Huh?
Did I go out of line with it?
Yes, okay.
No, I'm sorry.
As long as it got
I
covered.
didn't see that down there. I'm sorry.
Okay. This is from Commissioner Clark. She said, Dawn and I would like permission to use the city lot behind the Legion October 31st from 5 to 8:30. We plan to do trunk or treat. We will be placed 6 feet apart and wear masks. We are still working on details, and as last resort, we will have the parents drive the children through so they can receive candy just as we did on Easter. I cannot attend the meeting because of work. Please let me know if this is okay for us to do. The kids need some sort of normal in this crazy time we're in. Thank you, Commissioner Clark.
I'll make a motion that we do what we can to get trunk or treat on the road. Because we do need something in this town.
Yeah, they can be spaced in this lot.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of room in that parking lot. We just take the whole parking lot.
And Halloween thing is kids wear masks anyway, most of them. Do I get a second on that? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. For the levy, I've talked to the poll workers we usually get for all the other ones, and I'd like to nominate Amanda Barnett, Betty Bosley, Carol Johnson, and Robert Hollingsworth as our poll workers for the special election.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. There will be early voting on November 14th and 28th, no, 14th and 21st, which will be held at the city building. They will work, 3 of them will work that, and then the 28th will be held at the housing, I guess, I'm not sure if final one's still in the city building or not. But the poll workers will be working 3 separate days, 2 earlys and an election. Okay. Huh?
So I have one other thing I'd like to bring up before you dismiss, if you're ready to. Okay. You're talking about needing something positive in this town, and I agree. And that's the purpose of the stage that we're trying to put back here on Water Street. So I just want to get it out here again, that hopefully people, you know, while you don't see anything right now, we're still working on that, trying to get a stage put together. We have, right now, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of about $2,000 that we have raised towards that. We're not there, but we're getting closer to where we can get something. So you talk about something positive, I think that'd be a positive step. You know, we can get our kids out, just Paula, kids in the library, using that, gospel groups or whatever wants to happen back there, get people up and moving and out, and then get that sidewalk built back there. So I'm asking people, buy shirts, contribute, help however you can, so we can make this thing happen. That's all I got.
Question, Paul.
Yeah.
People were asking, where are you gonna build that stage at?
It'll be down by the sewage plant.
I know that part, but I mean, where possibly the location of it?
That's where it'll be.
I mean, this V sits here.
No, it'll sit up against.
You're looking for a guy, in other words, you're looking for some kind of picture like, when you put out, you know.
Yeah, you remember where Freddie and them used to put the big screen when they would show
Yeah.
movies and stuff for the kids in the evening?
That's what I'm talking about, they want a little.
It'll be
People
right.
asking, that's why I told them things gonna be right there.
It'll be right there.
And, you know, but they just wanna know how, maybe some kind of picture put a while, it's gonna
No,
be.
it'll be right there. It'll be right up against the fence, Rusty. You look at two big trees right there, the telephone pole, it'll be right there in the middle, facing the Methodist church.
Yeah, because that flag was there too, that's what
Yeah.
they're concerned about. What's going on.
You know, it won't be a big monstrosity like what Kaiser's got down there. It'll be something fitting for this town. I think it'd be nice. Have you seen a picture of it?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, they said, well, what's it? I said, well, I tried to talk to them, but you know, I just wanna make sure that's where it was at. You know.
I'll talk to you after this meeting.
We have anything?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? The next meeting will be October 7th, here at 12 o'clock.